Hun, I think it's time we get a pool boy.
No! Shake it! Shake that healthy butt!
Special thank you to my $10 and up Patreon supporters and Dr. John Vanderlaan and Steve Bradshaw. Thank you and thanks, buddy.
Hey, jerk faces.
Been a nice long winter. Let's go ahead and check out our pool, see what damage is there. Okay, some leaves, a little bit of cabbage. Can't see the bottom of my 4-foot deep pool. Not good. That's not good. Let's go ahead and check out the PSI here on our Death Star. A nice white crap coming out. All right, we have about 25 PSI. It's leaking all over the place. That's not good. It's got some high blood pressure. Let's go ahead and fix that.
All right, our pool has had a long winter. It's dicked up. It's all cloudy. Looks like an elephant finished in there. We're gonna clean it. We have this massive Death Star called the Sta-Rite filtration system, and then we have a Pentair chlorinator. It's a salt cell, and it's a hot mess. You got to clean these things. This thing once every 6 months, although I do it every 3 months because it gets filled up with crap all the time. Mostly because my wife likes to have a bunch of trees around the pool. She thinks it's pretty, and they drop in the pool, and it creates an unholy mess. And then the chlorinator, for whatever reason, gets all that chalky, nasty white stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's because my kids pee in the pool, but I have no proof of this. Anyway, it needs to be cleaned out every 3 months. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the power so I don't die today. I'm going to die someday, but not today. And then the tools you're going to need for this, as far as cleaning out the filter, is a hose with a hopefully high pressure system. You're also going to need a screwdriver, doesn't matter what kind, because you're not actually using it to screw. And then you're going to need like a mallet or a hammer. I choose the mallet because it's more cartoonish.
Hey!
Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, because we're going to be waiting about a half hour cleaning out the filter itself. And this takes about a half hour to soak. I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to soak it in a solution of, if you have 4 parts water, it's 1 part muriatic acid. Also, always wear eye protection and gloves when you're doing this, when you're handling this caustic material.
Now I also have a plastic putty knife in case I need to chunk any of the white, like calcium deposit residue out of the salt cell. It happens all the time. You do not want to use metal or you'll completely screw up your salt cell. And that's like a $500 mistake.
That's cute. It's got full on cabbage in there.
The sound of muriatic acid being poured into water makes me have to pee.
Alright, good. We have a little bit of foam and bubbles. That's good. That means it's working. Alright, let's go ahead and do the filter. First thing you want to do is drain out the water. You don't really need a bucket, but I have one just because I don't like it when the water goes like everywhere. It's like pure mud coming out, so you know the filter is absolutely dicked. Maybe we'll speed this up over some of my sweet bass jams. The Death Star holds about 200 gallons probably. Thank God I don't have about 100 other things I need to be doing right now. So while we're waiting for this to finish, I kind of learned how to do this the hard way. You could probably research this on the internet and find an easier way. Or you can do it the hard way, like I said, which is calling up a pool guy and asking a bunch of questions while you're acting like you're going to use his services. And then pretty much stealing all his ideas. which is what I did.
Sorry, Daryl, but you lost me when you didn't know what a salt cell was.
All right, so the bladder is empty. We need to unscrew all these.
I find that beating the hell out of these does nothing, but it's very therapeutic. You'll notice I have strong forearms that have been building up since right about the onset of adolescence.
Just kind of leave them on the ground right by it, so I'm coming right back to it, right? Okay, those are off. We're ready to lift the lid off of this bad boy. Dude, that is dirty. Like massive dirty. Ugh. All right, so you got the big fatty on the outside, and then you got the little skinny, tall sucker on the inside. There's some stuff in there you want to pay attention to that all lines up, but you can see all this stuff is so caked on with crap.
Shake it! Shake that healthy butt!
Watch out! Watch out! Ooh, sniper! There's snipers. Whenever you're doing pull work, look out for the snipers. They're always on the rooftops.
So before we actually go blow those things off with some water, we need to rinse this out because it's full of crap in there, and so is this little filter air valve. It's not like this requires any special training, just spray it off.
Look at how fast I'm going. I mean, that's just, you can't train this, guys. This is raw athleticism. This is cat-like reflexes. Look at that. The speed, probably take you 3, 4, 17 hours.
And don't even worry that you just used enough water to clean these that you could have just refilled your pool. It's not about that, okay? It's about getting the most out of those little babies. They cost a little over $100 each. Important note, when you're putting this thing in, make sure these little arrows here are pointed towards, they're on top of the tubes down there. Make sure that these arrows are pointed right at it, and it'll sit right in, because the water actually needs to flush in through those and out through the other. Very important. So your mom was right when she told you never leave home without your lube. We're gonna go ahead and lube up this ring right here, because otherwise it can cause some major problems. Now this is a water-resistant silicone lube, which is specific for this type of thing. Okay, we have a nice lubed up sphincter ring, so we can go ahead and put the top of the Death Star back on. This is the plug at the bottom. I also like to hit this with a little bit of the silicone stuff. You can see it's a little cracked already, but we're gonna try to lengthen it another season or two.
Pretty much any of the silicone rings that are like the O-rings, lube them up with this stuff, because if those things crack, you're done.
This is my shitty screwdriver, which is why I use it for this.
This is the perfect time for some screw jokes. But notice the restraint. I'm not going to utter not a one.
Our salt cell actually looks pretty clean. I just need to blow out. There's some debris in there. Some of those goddamn leaves from the trees I absolutely hate. Blow them out real quick.
If after you soak the salt cell and there's still some calcium deposits, now's a great time to use that plastic putty knife and just kind of chunk them off. They usually come off easy, but you need something to get in there.
Exactly how I meant to do it. All right, can now see light through it. No sweat. It was not that way before, so we're good to go. Hopefully you remembered what direction this is supposed to go. If not, you're screwed. All right, we're gonna get rid of the acid bath so no one comes along and washes their hands in it. Okay, it's time to get power back onto this thing and then do two more things. When I talked about stealing ideas from Pool Guy, one of the things he did is he charged me 90 bucks for one of these Pool RX things because he said it worked. That was the one thing I let him get away with. I felt kind of bad for really using them. I didn't use it the next 2 years and I had an unholy mess with algae. Then I used it again and it all went away. So I'm gonna start using it every time. And here's how you install it. So you open up the little first line of defense leaf catcher basket.
I will go ahead and provide a link in the description below of where to find this baby on Amazon. Cheapest spot you can get it. Here is the installation. And in case you missed it, installation. There we go.
Don't forget your silicone ring. Now I'm going to turn it on. We need to let the air out with the release valve, and then we'll check our pool pressure, and it should be much lower than 25. Remember, this is going to take a while because this thing, remember, holds like 750 gallons. It's got to prime up first. Perfect. You can see we're right at 15 psi. So we dropped 10. So the blood pressure is much better now. Okay, one more thing we're looking at. One more thing to look at. The salt cell is not happy. It needs some salt in it, and we're also going to add some other stuff. So the low salt thingy is blinking its tits off. So we're going to add some salt to it. We're going to add some muriatic acid after we check the pH. Make sure the pH is in a good range. With salt pools, it's almost always too high, so it's too basic. And we need to add a little acidity to it, so muriatic acid, we'll have to add that, I'm sure. We add the stabilizer, otherwise the salt just keeps turning back into, the chlorine. Once the chlorine generator turns it into chlorine and sodium, it just keeps rebinding, and so you get a mess with that. So if you add the stabilizer, it keeps them separated and it keeps your pool chlorine levels nice and high. So we're gonna go screw around with that. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. So now that we have some acid in there, the acid was needed. Chlorine stabilizer is always needed. We're gonna go ahead and run the filter for several hours. I'll probably run it all day today. Good Lord. Probably run it all day until the water doesn't have that cloudy look to it. And you just saved yourself a bunch of money from having a stupid ass pool guy come around every week and throw in a bunch of chemicals. You can do it yourself. If you have any questions, don't ask me, because everything I showed you on this is everything I know, and I did half of it wrong.
Stick it out. Even white boys got the shout. Baby got back.
Sorry, hon, no pool boy for you. Just a sexy guy with sexy shorts. Two pigs fighting over a dinner roll. Look at the clarity of that pool. You can see the bottom and everything. That is nice stuff. Nice shadow. Get the shout out of there, cameraman. Get back to CPAP videos here soon, but look at that pool. Look at that pool shine. Hey, thanks for watching. Come back next time. We'll have some more CPAP videos. Until then, my friends. Hey, pool guy, you got sleep apnea? Check out free cpapadvice.com.